What?
What happens if you attack a Pokemon mid-evolve? Does it just become a wheezing? It
Oh
just
my
gets
God.
screwed up.
It's like a Venomoth with a Venonat sticking out the side. Anyway, Dodrio attacks a Rapidash.
Yeah.
Ash's Rapidash. I think it's fine. I think it's completely fine. You should be allowed to use Pokemon attacks.
If
That's true.
if that logic is true, then I should be able to bot people while I'm racing in Forza.
Yeah.
This is different.
Hey, come on over, serve some Pokemon. Welcome to
Crazy attack. You gotta get closer to your mic, my guy.
Sorry.
Nobody can hear you. Look at the little tiny
Welcome.
little
Yeah, I know. KK.
Try again.
KK slider.
Try again.
Animal Crossing. This isn't the right crossing.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Life is Daijoubu Pokemon, whatever it's called. Life is Daijoubu Pokemon Watchalong Special
Spin-off episode.
What episode is this?
7?
Yeah.
Because I saw the little
Good
record.
I hope
job.
I'm right. I think I'm right.
You're right, because I haven't read on my notes.
Oh, good.
PKMN7.
Today we're going through episodes.
They still can't hear you, my guy.
Sorry. I'm pulling up my notes. Today we're going through episodes 31 to 35, including 35 being the band episode
What
from
a
America.
Anyway.
Second band episode.
Yeah, so I guess like when we say the band episode, I think most people think of the Porygon episode because that episode's banned all around.
No, this is the one that was banned in America.
Yeah, this is just banned
the
here.
second banned episode in America. Well,
the first one kind of got a release.
it kind of got a release as the lost episode, but that one was heavily edited, whereas this one, they didn't even try to bother trying to edit this one. They were like, nope, not going to touch it.
After talking it over with Cole, it makes sense. There's just too much. There's
Yeah,
too much
it's
they'd
like-
have to
Yeah,
do.
there's a lot they would have had to have edited out.
And apparently, like,
I'll put my
this-
thoughts in there when we get there, I guess.
This also affects some plot points for
Very.
the future episodes, but
Oh yeah. There's
yeah.
a like it's just interesting. We'll get there when we get
Yeah.
there as well. But I've got the first episode, and it's
So-
called
there's called the
Diglett's-
first episode.
Diglett's.
Dig those Diglett.
Dig those
Dig those
Diglets.
Diglets.
Yeah.
Dig those Diglett.
Yeah.
I keep thinking like Sicklets, like the candy. They
Those are
even kinda
nasty,
like-
by the
Oh,
way.
they're not yummy at all.
I used to like them as a kid, but then I tried them as adults. Like, oh, this is like the worst.
Are they called
the
sixlets?
sixlets? I think.
What did I call them? Sicklets?
Sicklets, yeah. They make
Sicklets is
you
cool.
sick.
Let's be honest. It rolls off the tongue better
They
than
make you
sixlets.
sick. Like, I remember, like, oh, sixlets as a kid, and then you eat them as an adult. It's like, this is like the worst chocolate I've ever tasted. Like,
Yeah.
bar
When I was
none.
a kid, I didn't even realize it was chocolate until like when I did realize it was chocolate, it started being really gross to me.
Oof.
But yeah, so we got Dig Those Diglets. In Japan, Diglet's name is Digda.
Digda.
I don't know what the name of the episode is. I just thought that was some fun trivia for y'all.
Weird. I thought this was a later episode, but then again, all this starts to blur together when you
Totally.
watch it.
I agree. All these episodes, like I watched all of these episodes, like these early ones, over and over and over again as a kid because I had all the VHS tapes, and man, some of these just blur in my mind. But anyway, so this episode starts out with, what do you know? The group is lost in the forest again. What is this? The seventh episode of them starting out with them lost in the forest?
I know why they're lost. Did you see the map that Brock had?
It didn't have any words on it.
No,
Yeah.
It's like just a bunch of
It was
mountains.
It was a topographical map.
literally, but there was like no names or locales.
But yeah, like that's just a running thing, I guess. They just every episode start them lost in the forest, and that's how they do it. So eventually they come across I wouldn't say a train wreck. It's more of a truck wreck, but it's pretty bad, honestly. It looks like a lot of like damage, property damage and stuff. All these trucks are crashing into each other. Some of them are flipping over, and they get down there to go check it out. And I guess the foreman of the operation, he shows up and why? What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they talk to the foreman, and the foreman's just like, it's these Diglets. I hate them. They keep ruining the road.
And this like offensive accent, which I'm not going to do, but
It's like a Russian accent.
these darn Diglets.
It's very like Russian inspired. It's just a Russian accent in
Yeah.
general, but he's very angry about the Diglets, and it's actually kind of funny. honestly, I kind of got a kick out of how mad he was, and
Yeah.
especially when you get the hammer and start doing whack-a-mole
Yeah.
with him.
But it was like in my head, I was like, dude, if these Diglets are like really screwing you over, do something about it. But also, like, what's a Diglett made of? Like metal? Those things were flipping over trucks,
Well,
and breaking
ants,
shit.
You don't know ants, if they swarm something, they could like break them apart. So I think it's like ants.
I think they were just taking out the road underneath, and they'd hit him. And
yeah,
then
yeah, it's like think of a bunch of moles. If you had an army of moles to like sink a building, they could do it.
Let's like Team Rocket dug those holes. These Diglett are doing the same
Yeah.
thing, but for trucks instead. And so this
Coordinated attack.
I don't remember this dude's name. We're just gonna call him the foreman. I don't know if he's got a name or not, but the foreman is angry at the Diglett, and he actually does try to do something about him, like a little bit. Like he does try to like, I guess, hire out Pokemon trainers to help out.
That's true. That's true.
And we see that when Gary rolls up with his harem and a couple of busloads of Pokemon trainers with him. And it's really funny because when Gary walks up with his harem, Ash goes, "Oh, what are they, Pokemon?" He's talking about the girls, and then Brock gets so offended that he had the audacity to call those women Pokemon. He's like, "How dare you, Ash? They're beautiful.
Those are my
women."
queens.
But they're definitely treated like objects.
Oh, no doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. It's very much so just Gary's harem. It's weird too because it's like you'd think that Gary would be like all up on that, but he's not. He's kind of just, oh, they're there.
But what's weird, I don't know if you're going to talk about the freaking fire line that Gary says. He says, only amateurs show off their Pokemon. He shows off his ladies. It's like, what the hell, Gary?
Gary.
Yeah, that's right, because Ash challenges him to a battle right there.
But it's like, but you're a Pokemon master. You're not wrong, though. He just doesn't give an F. He's just like, they're just there. It's just Gary's fan club.
Yeah.
So the foreman gathers all the Pokemon trainers up and like gets them to like, I don't know, freaking Warp Tour, but for Pokemon trainers. And he gets up on stage and he's not going to play any punk rock, but he's just going to tell them about the Diglett. He's going to explain to them that like we need to get rid of these things and need to stop it. And while he's up there, Ash is like talking and kind of just like not really paying attention. And the foreman gets mad at Ash. He goes, "You with the Pikachu on your head. Can you do more thinking and less talking," or something like that? And then Ash gets upset that he doesn't remember his name. And Misty just goes, "Don't be mad that he doesn't know what your name is." And it's like another dig at Ash, essentially, because he's always wanted to be the best or whatever, the best Pokemon master. And so it's like, it's okay that he doesn't know your name. Nobody knows your name, kind of thing. And it made me laugh. So while the foreman is talking about the Diglett, Gary starts cuts in essentially and explains a little bit more about them in depth. And I really, really like this specifically because Gary is actually like pretty dang smart when it comes to Pokemon. He has a lot of like a bit of a head start, I guess, too, because his freaking grandpa's Professor Oak. But it's cool because it's a little bit of foreshadowing for like the stuff he does later on in the series. Like, you don't see him much after a while. He kind of just comes in sporadically. But when he does come in, like, you realize that he's mature. He matures a lot throughout the series. Then he starts using his Pokemon knowledge, and it's pretty cool. Really, really interesting character. But right now, he's just a douchebag.
Yeah.
He's just an absolute douchebag, and it's hilarious. And so, after their little convention press conference, the Diglett show up, and the foreman says, get him, attack!" And Gary throws out a Pokemon, and the Pokemon comes out and then goes back in. And Gary's like, "I don't know what's going on." And then the Diglett's nice enough to bring him back the Pokeball, which is really funny. And I effing love that so much. And then the whole group of Pokemon trainers start throwing their Pokeballs, trying to get their Pokemon to attack the Diglett. And the Diglett are just kind enough to bring them all back again. I love that. Even as a kid, I loved that part. And I feel like this is the moment I'll bring up my first stupid Pokemon noises. I've got 3 for the episode. And I feel like they just slowly get worse. The first one is Diglett. I do like Diglett, and I think it's cute, and I think its little voice is cute too. But it's also really dumb just in general. He's just going Diglett dig, Diglett dig, Diglett dig. It's pretty dumb. But it's really cute and very I don't know. I like it.
I like it too. Like, I just wrote in my notes. I was like, why is this worm so cute? It's a freaking worm.
He's cute. He's definitely a little dumb, but he's cute. And so after this whole mess, they head to the hot springs, which I guess are just there. Oh, I guess I never mentioned what the foreman was doing, what he was making. They were trying to build this dam, and they were in the process of building it, and the Diglett started messing with them while they were building it. Well, that'll come into picture later. But anyway, they're at the hot springs. The gang is the trio. They're just relaxing, and all of a sudden they're trying to like talk it out and figure out like what the problem is and why their Pokemon won't like fight the Diglett. And then they're talking to Pikachu, and Pikachu just points all of a sudden, and then like a bunch of Digletts are popping up and like say hi to them at the hot springs, and then they go chasing after the Diglett, and it's around this time, like we see Team Rocket all throughout this doing like little sneaky stuff here and there, but it's around this time that they actually start like trying to do stuff, trying to I guess interfere, and it starts out with seeing their Pokemon evolve. Just cause. I mean, they're just like, okay, time to press the A button to let them evolve, essentially. And Coughing evolves into Wheezing, and Ekans evolves into Arbok. And so now they're ready and they're prepared, they're upgraded, and they're gonna go attack. During their, I guess, making their way to attack, we see what the rest of the main trio is doing, Ash and the gang, and They come across these fields and they see all these Diglett putting it together, and then we see that there's a bunch of Doug trio there too as well that are helping them farm as well. And this is my second stupid Pokemon noises, and it's Doug trio because he just says trio, 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 but he only says it after Diglett goes Diglett dig, Diglett dig, Diglett dig, trio, 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 Diglett dig, and just over and over and over again. As a kid, I effing loved this, and I like every now and then I'll just get it stuck in my head, even to this day. But man, is it dumb! It's pretty dumb. He's just trio, trio, trio. So Team Rocket attacks, as per usual, and it makes me laugh because like Team Rocket send out off Arbok and Wheezing, and then Ash like in the early episodes they're like, hey, you can't send out more than one Pokemon, like when they're fighting Team Rocket. Yeah. And now Ash is just like, all my Pokemon go and attack. Go, all 4 or 5 of them. They go fight Team Rocket. And I guess this is the time to bring my third stupid Pokemon noise. It's Arbok. How could it not be Arbok?
Oh, yeah, did you mention that they evolved?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Charbok.
Yeah.
Charbok.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Even as a kid, I knew this one was dumb. At least it's iconic. Don't get me wrong. It actually is an iconic Pokemon sound. Charbok. It's very iconic.
Mm-hmm. Wheezing sounds like he's dying.
I always thought that Wheezing was just like he didn't fully evolve. He just got that conjoined twin
got
look.
A freaking like a
growth.
A growth.
Oh yeah.
It's just like he needed some more time in the cooker.
Oh yeah, there's that Pokemon fact where when Diglett pops its head back down, it says it goes at this speed. It goes at the speed of light. It's like, that's not the speed of light.
It's so freaking fast.
Yeah.
Diglett is incredibly fast in lore as well. Like it's actually like a canon thing. I thought about bringing that one up too, but I decided not to because it makes sense. Like it's. I
also
fine.
like how
speed of light's a little much, but
I also like how it's just his full body is just a mystery.
Yeah, we don't know what he looks like.
I love the memes where it's just a freaking beefcake underneath the dirt.
So they fight Team Rocket. I honestly don't remember how they win. I think the Diglett and the Doug trio just decide to kill him instead. Is that what happens?
Yeah, and then they
don't
knock
remember.
him into the.
It's literally just
dam.
how we killing Team Rocket this time. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was the Diglett and the Doug trio killing.
Oh,
them.
they made like a tidal wave of dirt, didn't they? And they surfed out.
Yeah. And it also took out the dam as well. Yeah. And then the foreman goes, "Oh shoot, we were doing a bad thing trying to block up this dam and like kill all these Pokemon, and we probably shouldn't do that. So I'm not gonna do it anymore." And that's the end. That's the episode. Like
millions of dollars wasted.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I thought that at the very end. I'm like, okay, like I understand not deciding, like just stopping the construction, but at the same time, it just sucks because it's a lot of money they wasted. But hey, it's the Pokemon world where money doesn't matter. Yeah, That's episode 31. Diglets be digging. That's the name of the
Diglets be
episode
digging.
too.
Yep. So episode 32 is called the Ninja Poke Showdown. So as per usual, the gang's lost once again in the forest looking for
Holy
the
cow.
fuchsia gem.
It's like I've seen this episode before.
Yeah.
Literally. This is the problem. This is why all these episodes kind of melt together. I think the only standout thing usually is the Pokemon that gets introduced.
Yeah.
It's like, how are we going to start the episode this time? And they just have a dart, and like they get ready to go to the dartboard. But the dartboard only says "Lost in the Forest."
Yeah.
It's got nothing else. It's not a Venn diagram. It's just a
It's
circle.
like they need Nami to.
Yeah, they need the freaking
Yeah.
cartographer.
Yeah.
So the gang, like I said, they're lost, and Misty decides that she wants to try to trade Psyduck for Vulpix with Brock, and Brock's like,
Yeah.
"What? No, F you."
Hell no.
It's like, dude, Vulpix is actually good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then we see in the distance there's like a mysterious onlooker looking behind the trees. It's a ninja. Spoiler.
Yeah.
So
Naruto.
yeah, there's a crossover episode. So they see this huge mansion, and then they head on in. And
Brock has a line at this one.
Oh, does
I
he?
think it's either Brock or Misty, but they say something. It's like slightly racist
Really?
about the mansion design. Oh wait, no, it's Team Rocket. I
Yeah.
think. Is that what it is? It's
No,
Team
I don't
Rocket.
remember.
One of them.
Yeah.
They say it looks like a Chinese restaurant.
oh
Oh.
yeah,
Somebody says that, and I'm just like, yikes! I don't know about that one, guys. I don't know who said it. I think it might have been Team Rocket. Now that I'm thinking about it, but
So as they head into this mansion, which I think isn't it just a traditional looking like
It's
Japanese
Japanese
style?
castle.
yeah, it's
Pretty
like a
much.
Japanese castle,
Yeah.
like for ninja, like
Their
like
castles
the
were.
classic ninjas.
Yeah.
like they
Their
would be.
castles were built different.
Got 'em.
And they had traps in them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of
Yeah.
traps, as Misty enters in, she falls behind a trap door.
Well, actually, they have traps. They have more ninja, like, ways for ninjas to climb up the ceiling and stuff. Ways for ninjas
You
to
know they
get
have
around.
chakra for that.
Sure, that too.
Yeah.
I see Naruto.
So Misty falls through the door, then Ash and Brock go through there, and then a Venonat shows up and leads the gang, leads them to a Voltorb trap, which just zaps the hell out of
Yeah.
Ash. And then Ash runs into a wall.
He's used to it though, so he's
yeah,
okay.
literally. So this mansion is just full of booby traps.
What's cool about this actually is like it's an interesting like actual adaptation from the video game.
Really?
Because in the video game, when you go to the Fuchsia Gym, it's ninjas themed, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Koga is a ninja, and so what they do is they have invisible walls that you basically it's like an invisible maze, and you can't see the walls, so you just kind of like feel your way through it. And so seeing it in the anime like this, they even do the invisible wall thing, which I thought was pretty cool. Cool little adaptation way.
Oh, that is fun. So Ash is chasing after this Venonat, then he gets pinned to the wall by the ninja, then he ends up battling this ninja.
So Venonat, it's another
Ninja,
one of my
please.
stupid Pokemon noises.
Let's hear it.
Number 4. It's Venonat, but like add robot sounds.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I heard it for the first time, I was like, what the freak? Why did they make it sound like a robot?
Yeah, and so like I get what they were going with, like the eyes kind of look like that, but it's still just a bug. And I just it doesn't work in my opinion. I don't think they should have made it sound like a robot.
Imagine if Butterfree sounded like that.
And
Or
like-
any other bug, I
And
guess.
spoiler, Venomoth is kind of like that, just not as bad in my opinion. I felt like Venonat was the one that needed to really be put on the spot here, though.
Man, I kind of wish she still has Butterfree, so it'd be like, go Butterfree, fight Venonat.
Oh, literally, the Butterfree would have been like robot sounding too if they would have
Yeah,
stuck with that.
yeah.
Interesting. Now that you brought up Butterfree, though, there's an interesting theory that like is a pretty classic one. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
Huh.
Oh, so a big theory that used to be like, I don't know, it's still around. People used to think that Metapod was originally supposed to evolve into Venomoth, and that Venonat was originally supposed to evolve into Butterfree.
Oh.
Is that because of the colors?
Straight up because of their designs.
Oh, the design.
Butterfree and Venonat have the same color scheme and the same eyes, and Venomoth doesn't look anything like a Venonat.
Yeah. It's kind of like how, well, we'll get to that later in a later episode. Another design I thought, like, Pokemon design, I thought, it's like, it looks like it would evolve more into this.
Oh, is it later in this episode we're going to talk about it?
No, in a later episode, like at the last episode.
This episode
Of-
of the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about
Yeah.
then. Yeah, that'll be a fun one to talk about too. Anyway, say Sky. Sorry.
So it's Ash battles the ninja. It's Bulbasaur versus the Venonat. Bulbasaur hits it with a leech seed, and the match appears to be over. And then Voltorb rolls up again and just self-destructs in front of it, the middle of this battle. And then we see Koga, who is the gym leader, and that's canon from the game, right?
Yeah, he is the gym leader. It's interesting that it's his sister that is the ninja that Ash fights to begin with.
Is his sister canon in the games?
Not that I know of. He's got a daughter that shows up in Gold and Silver. She takes over the gym.
Ninja.
Huh?
Pink ninja outfit too.
Well, it's like purple. They're definitely not supposed to be the same character from the anime to the, because it's Koga's daughter Janine. She takes over the gym in Gold and Silver, and then Koga goes and becomes an Elite Four member.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's he take over? I remember there's an old lady. Yeah,
probably Agatha, the old lady.
Oh yeah, because she probably died.
Yikes!
Hey. Being realistic here.
Oh wow!
Dang, it's a kid show.
Yikes!
Or she just retired.
I was just imagine she retired. She's an old lady.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Ash starts to battle Koga. Once again, it's Venonat versus Pidgeotto. But as soon as Venonat goes out, it just evolves into a
instantly.
Venomoth. Yeah.
Instantly, it's just like time to go.
This happened several times. Like Pokemon just don't evolve. They evolve after battle, not during a battle.
I can see the merit to it. Especially, like, because on Legends Arceus, you can just choose when or not to evolve them. Like, once they reach the specific level, you can just go click the A button on their name. But just throwing it out into battle and then clicking the A button right then just for fun, I don't know about that.
And then Ash just sits there and waits like a good fighter.
It's not to happen.
He could totally just dunk on all
he throws it out and plants, like, watch this.
Wait.
It's like, what?
What happens if you attack a Pokemon mid-evolve? Does it just become a Weezing?
Oh my
god!
Up? It's like a Venomoth with a Venonat sticking out the side.
Oh, it's like, my god, what'd you do?
Or it's a Venonat that just grows wings and that's all.
We need a Nurse Joy. We need a Nurse Joy.
Brock has a stupid line here too. He's like, metamorphosized or something. That's a metamorphosis attack. Missy's like, you're just dumb. He evolved.
So Venomoth is out there. It sleeps the bird. So then Charmander gets thrown out. But Team Rocket, as per usual, ruins yet again another gym battle.
Yeah, dude, Mans can't get a normal gym battle in this season.
No. So then Koga and Ash fight together, which I thought this was kind of a fun moment. Yeah, Team Rocket, they have Spider-Man webs that they're just shooting at everybody. What were they?
Yeah, they're cheating. They're straight up cheating.
That's Spider-Man.
Did they have a gun or something? I can't remember.
It's like
they were reading one of the Marvel comics and they saw Spider-Man make those.
Yeah.
Start roping all over.
Yeah,
the
before
place.
that they like do the Kabuki thing and they actually say Kabuki by name. It's like, wow, that's an interesting localization thing they did, because usually they try to censor it.
Oh yeah, when they first like show up.
Yeah, it's like, we're doing traditional Kabuki. It's like, you think like we're doing traditional stage play or something. Like, no, they just call it Kabuki. I was like, wow, they actually call it that.
Job 4 Kids.
Yeah. They even speak like it, like, we are Team Rocket. It's like, wow, they really just
actually
like
tried that.
Yeah.
Time. Maybe it's because they just didn't want to bother trying to match the lip flaps.
Maybe also because like Kabuki's more popular, like knowledgeable amongst Americans, because it's like that thing,
the culture thing that people know.
Yeah, you know about. It's like, oh, they do Kabuki plays.
So as Team Rocket busts in, starts shooting their spider webs, Misty throws out Psyduck, and he's not having it. He's not doing good.
He's not having fun.
Got an effing headache,
It's
bro.
like,
he needs some Tylenol or Advil or something.
No, dude, he needs Excedrin. Excedrin.
It's funny how the logic is like
strength.
Like Ash could totally throw out a Pokemon. She doesn't decide to throw another Pokemon out and like do friendly fire on Psyduck.
Oh shoot! Yeah, go Staryu attack Psyduck, make its headache harder.
Yeah.
Hurt more.
Yeah. So Psyduck's freaking out, but Koga's got plan. He's got a plan B. He just freaking pulls a lever, and all these Voltorb that he has stashed in the ceiling just fall and start nuking the place.
It was honestly really funny though, watching Psyduck freak out, because everybody just watching it happen. Like, you got Team Rocket, Koga, everybody just like, what the freak is happening?
What's your duck doing?
What the duck do?
Yeah, so the Voltorb ignite, and then eventually Team Rocket comes back. They've caught all the Voltorb. Psyduck is still losing his mind, and then he just snaps. He's like a psychopath. He just snaps, and then he just dunks on Team Rocket.
It's like Stranger Things.
Yeah. He's L.
11.
He's 11.
It's kind of like in Detective Pikachu where he builds up his psychic energy and goes, becomes a nuke.
Kills everybody.
Yeah.
Crazy part of the show when he kills everybody.
After that, the ninjas are like, yo, your Psyduck's really dope. Let's just trade for him. But Misty's like, actually, kind of like the little guy.
Yeah.
He grew up.
I think it's funny how they instantly just want, dude, just take away my poison Pokemon. Even though I'm the poison generator, just have it. I want your duck.
Yeah, I want your duck. Yeah, Misty says no. Ash still wants the battle for the gym badge, so that it's Charmander versus
This time,
Golbat.
authentically, instead of just giving it to him, it's like, thanks for helping.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was convinced. Did I have it written down? Yeah, I say, don't tell me Ash gets a badge after Psyduck saves the day. Then I say, okay, good. He still fights. He won, but for some reason Psyduck still got some of the credit.
In fact, Kogi even says, your Psyduck is worthy of one of our badges. And
It's
like,
so dumb, dude. Yeah, Ash fights Kogan, wins, gets the badge, and he's like, but the Psyduck did really good too. Effing yeah, let's go Psyduck. I was like, are you kidding me?
It felt like they just slipped that last fight in the end, because when they're like, oh, they're going to battle, I looked at the timestamp. I was like, bro, this is like a minute and a half left. Quick battle, quick effing battle. Yeah. Charmander just burns the Golbat, game over. But he did win the badge fair and square.
Yeah, I give him that. I wonder if it's just because the writers were like, we can't just let him have a badge because Psyduck saved the day. We better let him battle one more time.
Yeah, and that was the end of that episode.
Yeah.
Crazy episode. What was that one called? Ninjas in the Forest?
No, it was called the Ninja Poke Showdown.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, what's the next one we got? What's that one called? It's 34?
It's episode 33. I didn't
33.
write the title.
It's called the Flame Pokemon-a-thon.
What a bad name for how good this episode is, dude. I love this episode.
That doesn't make sense because they have multiple types of Pokemon. It should be called the Great Pokemon Race.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a marathon, right?
Yeah, it's
and
supposed to be,
obviously like Ponyta's it makes sense. I get it. I just think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Could be better.
Yeah. Anyways, is this? Would you guys say this is like the best episode of the batch?
Oh, I think I personally really liked the band episode, but it's because I'd never seen it before. If it wasn't for the band episode, though, then I would say this is my favorite of the batch.
So Ash and group, they're not lost in the forest. They're just wandering, and they find a herd of Taurus, and Ash is like, "Wow, Taurus! I'm going to assault them." Go, I don't remember. Charmander. And throws a Charmander, and before he attacks, a freaking Growlithe. I can't say Growlithe right. A Growlithe comes down from the air and just butt slams him.
Just
straight up
sits right on him.
Bodies him.
And then he's like, "Oh, what's this? It's a Growlithe." And they get in a firefight, like fire struggle. And then the owner's like, "Hey, stop!"
It's fishing game, bro. It's the freaking they got him. They got him.
Yeah, it's the fishing game.
Hey, you got a license to catch these Pokemon?
Here comes the fishing game manager. Her name is Laura.
They're walking up to the patch of Pokemon, and Brock's like, "Ash, what if we get caught by someone catching these Pokemon?" He's like, "Don't worry, bro. They never card it. We can fish without it. We can fish without a license. They never card."
Then they card.
He's like, in 15 years of fishing, I've never got carded.
So he says, like, never card that one time.
That one time.
Yeah. Then Laura comes like, "Stop, these Taurus are mine. We run a farm." It's like, a Pokemon farm? Yeah, a Pokemon farm. And it's like, it's a Pokemon ranch, whatever. It's the same thing. They go there, and there's tons of Pokemon being ranched.
At one point, and I don't remember exactly when it is, it's got to be around this area, though. So I don't remember the context of this. I just remember laughing a bunch to it, and I just wrote down the quote. It just was, "If you're lucky, you get a big P Pokemon."
So I think it's because the ranch is called Big P.
Oh. That makes sense.
No, I was laughing too. I was like, wait.
I heard that.
Wait.
I'm like, what are they talking about? Big P? Yeah. I put wink in like notes.
You get a Pokemon with big PP. It's like, what? Power points. Attack.
Another thing that I thought was interesting, and it also gets brought up, they address it, but like, she's riding on this Ponyta, and his mane and tail are just fire.
Yeah, they even said,
it's like, how is it not cooking
well, actually, they
her?
explain it. They say,
they
like,
explain it.
Dexter's like, its mane blazes fire of intense heat. It's like, how are you not burned? It's like, oh, it trusts me, so it'll never burn me. It's like
it's like it gets
the
to
power
pick
of
how
friendship.
it burns people.
So now that you brought it up, I meant to bring this up earlier, but you brought up Dexter again.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out how crappy Dexter's been recently. Like, I swear, the last 5 Pokemon Dexter has analyzed, it has just said, yeah, it's a Golbat. I got nowhere else. Sorry.
It's a Pokemon.
It's like, it looks like a bug. You're good luck on your own, though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so worthless recently, dude. It's so sad.
So as they go to the ranch, like Ash is like, wow, I want to pet it, and gets his hand burned. It's like,
yeah.
of course the Ponyta doesn't trust you. You're a random person.
Ash don't have that big P Pokemon
Yeah.
energy.
No.
And so she's like, we're training for a Pokemon race. It's like, wow. And then this douchebag named, I think his name's Dario.
Dario.
Yeah, Dario.
Dario comes on his Trios, which are like super fast lightning birds. They're kind of like 3-headed ostriches. And he comes like, ha, you guys suck. We're going to win the race because our ostrich is fast.
I didn't realize that Doe Trio, that all the heads were different emotions.
Yeah, one's
Until
like
they brought it
sadness,
up, I was
one's
like,
like
oh.
happiness, and one's like anger or
Yeah.
something like that.
But if you look at their faces, they're animated that way too. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's kind of
well, sometimes
Interesting.
in some angles, happiness and anger kind of blur together because their eyes will get angry sometimes. But anyways, so they're like still going to go to the inside the town. It's like, hey Laura, how you doing? Hey Laura. It's like, hey everybody, welcome to town.
I'm famous.
And
He's
then
the big name.
and then the Taurus act up, and they're like, oh my gosh, the Taurus, they're acting up quick. And as they go, they clear up the Taurus, but then Laura gets hit.
She gets bucked off
Yeah.
the Ponyta.
Yeah.
Snaps her freaking arm.
Yeah, and she breaks her arm. And
Dude, her scream, though. Wow, I was impressed with that
Yeah.
voice actress. It literally sounded like she broke her arm. Oh!
and then it reveals that it was Meowth who, like, either he
Spooked the Ponyta.
spooked the Ponyta. They don't use the slingshot yet, if I remember, but yeah.
Yeah, it's much later.
You see, I didn't really take a good job taking notes, so it's kind of blurring together. Sorry, I'll try again next time. I'll try better next time. Anyways,
Can't wait to hear that one.
Laura.
Next.
Nah, I probably won't. I'm not good. I'm not good at taking notes. Anyways, Laura's like, oh, I can't race with this broken arm. And yeah, it would hurt like hell if you raced with a broken arm because he kept.
Well, it's like freshly broken,
yeah,
too,
it's
right?
freshly broken.
They get back to their
So-
house, to Laura's house, and they're like talking. I want to point this out specifically. And like, I get it. It makes sense to have Pokemon.
The Ponyta's right inside the house.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm glad you noticed too.
I was like, why is the
Okay.
Ponyta?
Yeah.
Like,
So, like, it makes sense to have Pokemon in your house, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're pets. It's just weird to see a horse in the living room.
That's on
It's-
fire.
It's on fire.
it's that joke from Reggie Watts where he's like, so a horse walks in a bar and the bartender's like, hey, I'm gonna need you to go outside because you have like hooves, and like if you get spooked you could like do a lot of damage and property damage, so if you want to go
Nah,
outside.
bro. Let's let Ponyta
Yeah.
in the living room. He's got to watch our freaking late night, Friday night shows.
Yeah. So it's like Laura's like, Ash, you gotta do the race. It's like, me? It's like, but Ponyta doesn't trust me. Tries to pet it again, gets pan burned. And it's like, yeah. It's like Laura's like, you gotta do it. It's like, you're the
She's like,
protagonist.
F you. Okay, I guess.
It's like, all right, I guess I'll. He's always interested in like the Ponyta's like wanting to ride like.
He wants to ride
Yeah.
it. He wants to
Yeah.
touch it.
So it's like, all right, I'll do the race. And then, like, Ponyta, like, in a span of a day, just trusts him.
Yeah, I really don't understand the makeup of Ponyta's tail and mane.
Yeah.
There's got to be some, like,
I'm pretty sure,
physical
like,
hair or something in there because
Yeah.
Ash falls off and grabs onto Ponyta's tail and is, like, being
it's
dragged
just, like,
along.
The
So it's
logic,
not just fire.
the logic is it will not burn who it trusts. So
But,
magically,
like, there has
it
to be
just-
something physical for him to
Yeah,
grab
I know.
onto.
I bet there's like they got tails there. It's not just hair they can whip around, like actual horses.
Like, Pokemon, I think, all have some kind of, like psychic force
like
around them or
if
something.
you shave that tail of a real horse,
How
you just got
long
this
is
like
it?
rat tail kind of thing.
Is it
Yeah.
long?
It's not super long, but it's long enough you can grab it like Ash did. Maybe Ash grabbed it right at the very edge, which is kind of weird, but overall it's just strange, but it's
Yeah.
also effing badass to watch him ride around on this freaking horse.
Oh yeah, and
On fire. Ghost Rider,
and
man.
when Laura was injured, it reveals that Dario, the douchebag on the Do Trio, is working with Team Rocket
Yeah,
to
he hooked up with
sabotage the other racers. But that won't stop Ash from entering the race, and so the race starts, and no explanation. Misty and Brock are also in it
Yeah,
with their
dude.
own Pokemon.
Don't forget about Pikachu and
And
Squirtle.
also, Pikachu, who's a Pokemon, rides on another Pokemon with
love
Squirtle.
it. Oh, I love it so much.
And Squirtle's having a tough time. He
Squirtle
just
hates
has,
it.
and so they're racing, and they got
Wait, you forgot about our boy though on the far right, the dude riding an Electrode.
Running on top of
oh
the
yeah.
Electrode.
Well, no, we'll get to that later.
He's got his own moments.
He
guys.
does.
Yeah, he got his own
He
moment.
does.
So there's obstacle course in the race. So they start the race like normal, and it's like, all right, first obstacle course, climb up this hill and this mountain. So they do, and then it's like that was easy. And then the Electro dude is just rolling on the ball like a
Going
freaking
down.
circus clown.
Dude, he was gonna win. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
He got cucked
Well,
by
maybe-
Team Rocket.
Maybe not a little later in some of the obstacles, but like he was definitely killing it in that obstacle course race. And then Team Rocket just sabotages him with a
So
slingshot.
sad. So sad.
Well,
Or no, with it's a
trap hole.
yeah, trap hole. And weren't earlier like shooting some Pokemon with the
yeah,
slingshot?
so, yeah, they shot a Tauros, and James he had me cackling because he said, "I got a bullseye," and I was like, "That's funny, James."
That's
'cause
funny.
He shot a bull.
Yeah, so Team Rocket out there being evil little trolls, sabotaging other racers. And then like the Voltorb blows up. I'm pretty sure that guy died. Like he got
He's
He's
disintegrated.
dead. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
Ash almost died there too.
Yeah.
Ash got taken out.
And then some other people, they're like injured, taken out, and he's like, "Ash, you gotta go." And he's like, Pikachu comes
Pikachu
over
shocks him back
and
to life.
shocks him back to life, resuscitates him.
Yeah.
And with the Ponyta, it's like, Ponyta, let's go. And then Ponyta's and them are going, and then they get to the water obstacle course.
This part I'd be laughing
Oh,
too.
it's so funny, dude.
And like there's little rocks. Ash like hops over the
Gallops
rocks.
across.
Yeah, because if they miss, that Ponyta's dead. But speaking of dead, freaking this kid riding a Rhydon just tries to hop on the rock, sinks and dies like he's dead.
Shout out to all the Rhyhorn races in Kalos.
It's a Rhyhorn. Rhydon's like the.
Rhyhorn. Yeah. I said
yeah.
Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn
I said
races.
Rhydon.
Oh. Yeah, shout out to the Rhyhorn racers in
God.
Kalos. At least they don't have to run over water. That poor guy sank.
Yeah.
And Onyx is just sitting there like, F, I'm not
like-
doing
And then,
that.
yeah, Brock's like, "Sorry guys, you could."
Yeah,
you
we
continue."
lost.
He says, "Well, we tried. We'll get him next time."
And also,
Just
also
get cucked.
Pikachu and Misty have type advantage with their
Yeah, they
mounts.
cheated with water.
Yeah, because they could just glide across. But they like get past the second obstacle course, and then the third obstacle course is
Food.
eat food, and it's like
That's
pick your
literally
food.
the obstacle.
Yeah.
Eat food.
Hope you're
Then
hungry.
While they're eating food, they were attacked.
yeah, by Team Rocket. And then like Dario's like, "Haha, suckers, so long," and it's like, "What?" And
Ash chases
Yeah.
after, and like
Yeah.
Team Rocket.
it's like, no wait,
was
it's like, so
dealt
it's
with
like,
Misty or something.
wait, it's like Misty and Pikachu and Squirtle. They're like, we'll handle them. You keep going with
keep
the
it,
race, and it's like, all right, yeah,
Then
will.
it's just a one-on-one.
Oh no, wait. So actually, while they're riding, like, Ponyta gets his super attack and just kills Team Rocket.
Oh,
That's
I don't
what.
remember
Yeah,
that part.
I have that in my notes.
It goes
it's like,
all
oh yeah,
flablets then.
yeah, he just kills them. Not really kills them, but you know what I
They're
mean.
dead.
They're dead. They always have a backup Phoenix down every episode.
So it's a one-on-one now, though. Dario versus Ash.
Yeah, and Dario was revealed to be
A cheater.
a cheater, even though he's not disqualified.
To be fair, him having the Dodrio attack the Rapidash.
Yeah.
Spoiler, excuse me. My bad. Ponyta goes a little
Yeah.
ham and evolves. But anyway, Dodrio attacks a Rapidash.
Yeah.
Ash's Rapidash. I think it's fine. I think it's completely fine. You should be allowed to use Pokemon attacks.
If
Yeah, it's true.
if that
Unless-
logic is true, then I should be able
Wait.
to bot people while I'm racing in Forza.
Yeah.
This is different. This is not even the
Yeah,
same.
it's
I
not
feel like
Mario
that's
Kart.
worse.
Here's the thing.
That's
God.
worse.
Here's the thing. They never do establish that rule. If they
Yeah, they
did,
never made it a rule.
yeah, they
It's
never
not a rule
established
that you
the
can't
rule.
bump people in
Cannot
races.
attack other racers, but they never do. So,
It is actually. You get penalized sometimes.
so yeah, Do Trio attacks Ponyta. It's like Ash is like, Ponyta, come on, and then Ponyta evolves into Rapidash and does like the flame thing
It
that you see with
outspeeds.
that Fox does in Super Smash Brothers, and he's just like,
He got the nos.
and then he wins by the nose.
Let's go.
Photo finish.
So to really before we wrap up this episode and get to our break, I wanted to do
I
the.
wanted to talk two more things.
Oh, you got more?
Laura
I
says,
thought it was Ann.
"Oh, there's a Safari Zone over there for Japanese viewers." And then at the end, Team Rocket, they're tied up in a tree, and Dario's like, "You bastards made me forfeit the race. I'm gonna torture you now." So Dario kind of gets like a satisfactory ending, even though he's a cheater. It's like, what
He gets
the
like a
hell?
redemption arc.
I guess.
I don't even remember that at all.
Yeah, it's like after like Ash and his friends go off on the journey, and then it's like a little epilogue where it's like
Dario just beats Team Rocket.
yeah, like tortures Team Rocket
Hmm.
on a tree. It's like by having him get pecked to death by the dough trio. It's
Oh.
like, why do you give him like this little satisfactory thing
Yeah.
at the end? That's pretty dark.
So really quick before our camera dies, when we take a break. This is the actually of the episode. It's Rapidash versus Dodrio. So according to the Pokedex, Rapidash can go up to 150 miles per hour, and Dodrio can run up to 40 miles per hour. The stats, though, the Pokemon stats, Rapidash's base speed is 105 and Dodrio's is 110. However, in Generation 7 or Sun and Moon onwards, Dodrio's base speed stat is 110. So technically, Dodrio is now currently faster than Rapidash.
Wow.
Got him.
Get wrecked, Rapidash.
Ouch. Well,
That's it, though. That's all I had to say. So we should probably wrap
yeah.
before it
What
dies.
is the fastest Pokemon?
fastest
Yeah.
of all time? It's like Electrode.
Oh.
That's why it was fitting that he was in the race.
He is made of light, so he manipulates lightning, so he's.
Oh, well,
Well.
there it is. So
There's
see
camera.
you guys in just a bit.
Yeah, bye. Welcome back, everybody, to Pokemon.
Dying. Sorry.
He always keeps dying. When you were in the car, I always heard.
Stop making fun of me.
I just want to point it out. I usually don't like to do this, but since he was dogging on you,
Dog on him.
while he was dogging on you, he was freaking just all up in his middle man spot. Just he was
Let's
digging
go.
and picking and rubbing.
Now, it would be my turn to dog on you, but I can't do that. You just defended me.
You little weasel.
Anyway, Pokemon. The next
Just
episode
do your episode.
is 34, which is called The Kangaskhan Kid. That's actually what it's called. I got
The
it right for once.
Kangaskhan
Can you believe
Kid.
that?
Sounds like a Disney movie, but with Pokemon.
So I guess, I don't know if I should say this before or after, but because I already brought it up, I might as well say it before we get to the episode. This episode is very interesting because,
It's like the Jungle Book, but with Kangaskhan.
well, yes, it's many a things. It's Tarzan, it's the Jungle Book, it's all these different things. But that doesn't matter. I don't care for crap about any of those. The thing that I think is interesting is how this episode is essentially the future movie Pokemon Secrets of the Jungle.
I wouldn't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
No wonder who win a fight, Tarzan or grown-up Mowgli.
So that movie is basically the same plot. It's just the Tarzan story. Like, I just completely just shut that down. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking Pokemon. We're talking.
No, sorry.
We're not talking who
References.
could
Jungle Book
kill
and
each
Tarzan.
other.
What about George of the Jungle?
Oh, okay,
Don't leave him
who win a
out.
fight, the Kangaskhan kid or the Zarude kid?
Oh, the Zarude kid. He's a little
Yeah.
bit older than the Kangaskhan kid's literally like a 4-year-old kid. You can just
Yeah.
kick him
It's true.
dead.
I don't
Unless he's
know. This
strategic.
kid's got some skills for being
Yeah.
a child.
Okay, so
They're both monsters.
the episode starts out with the homies in the forest. Because how else would it start?
Yeah, they're lost again.
They think they're in the Safari Zone, but they're not quite there just yet. And they look over and see a Chansey. Ash gets excited and goes to try to catch the Chansey, But then all of a sudden the Chansey's head goes up, and it's not a Chansey. It's a hat. It's Officer Jenny, or rather Park Ranger Jenny, excuse me.
She points a freaking rifle
She
at
pulls
him.
out a rifle and points it at Ash and says, "Quit poaching Pokemon." So I realized that this is just the equivalent of like the police officer trying to sell drugs on the park bench.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing it and setting them up.
It's the episode of Breaking Bad where it's like, Badger's like, "Hey, man, you'll buy drugs." Like, "Oh, no, I've been off." It's like, "Come on." It's like, "Okay, put your hands up." He like reaches in the little boot gun.
He's like, "Are you a cop?" Yeah. He's like talking to the Chansey. Are you a cop?
Yeah.
So Officer Jenny gets mad. They figure it out and they come to the conclusion that it's okay, and they jump in her Jeep. They go on a safari. They see some rampaging Kangaskhan, and they just start running. They just start running away from these Kangaskhan because they apparently won't stop until they die. It's not what it said. What did it say? It won't stop until it hits the wall or something? Or
I don't know.
It said something absurd, and I just thought that was dumb. So I wanted to make fun of it.
I've always loved Kangaskhan. It was like one of my favorite Pokemon as a kid because it's a freaking dinosaur and a kangaroo. How freaking dope is that?
Okay. I'm not huge on Kangaskhan.
I always loved
like,
Kangaskhan.
To each their own.
And he's got a move in Pokemon Stadium where it's Dizzy Punch, and he literally just slaps the shit out of people, and
it's
I loved
weird.
it. I loved it
weird
so
how
much.
they never made a pre-evolution where like the baby Kangaskhan is like out of the pouch or something.
I mean, there's always the big like conspiracy theory as well with this one, where it's like Marowak and Cubone are related to Kangaskhan somehow.
Well, the death animation of Kangaskhan is like the little guy falls out of the pouch. I'm pretty sure
that actually makes sense because like design-wise, they have similarities a bit.
It's never confirmed, obviously, so I won't believe it. But if you want to believe it, dear viewers, feel free.
Yeah, there's plenty of theories,
but you're wrong.
Like. A lot of these evolutions probably slapdash like that looks cool. It's like a kangaroo with a baby in it, but there's no like logic behind it most of the time. So
you look like
you're
gotta furiously searching for this Kangaskhan death animation.
Yeah, I want to find it.
You love these death animations in Pokemon.
Some of them are like, wow.
Is it kind of like?
What about like the Nidoqueen entrance animation where it like shakes its breasts?
It's like that League of Legends character.
No, it does like a thing.
Yeah. I don't remember that one.
It's kind of like that League of Legends character has the dog, and then the character dies, and the dog just sniffs and like curls up by the corpse.
That's sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Freak, dude. I'm crying now.
And then like
this
there's
League of Legends character
where
got me crying.
There's the memes where it's like, what you say?
Oh yeah,
it's oh damn.
Like the old Smosh videos.
Yeah. Or Saturday Night Live.
That's what it was. It wasn't Smosh.
Yeah, it wasn't Smosh. It was Saturday Night Live.
There you go. Skylar's got it. We've BS'd long enough, Thane. We can actually see it.
I hope you guys BS long enough.
Oh no.
There's what Pokemon number is he?
Kangaskhan? It's like 120 something probably.
Oh, so he's in the back.
Yeah, he's near the back. Maybe like early 100s.
I'm going through this 10-minute video that I appreciate that this person.
He's that one kid in the back of the bus who's like. It's that one girl who sits in the back of the bus because she's pregnant. In high school, there's always that one juvenile girl who got pregnant. It happens. I had one in high school.
Depends on your grade thing, because I think we had several.
Yeah. This isn't the Rad Cats podcast. We're sorry. I'm sorry.
Really
did I taint this podcast?
You tainted the podcast, Thane. Now we can't Kangaskhan anymore.
I'm so sorry.
You just keep going.
Okay. I'm over here waiting for you to find this. I'm just like, we've gone off rails. Thane's talking about freaking teenage pregnancy. I don't know what to do anymore.
16 and pregnant on TLC.
Speaking of parents and children, Kangaskhan. So as they're running away from the Kangaskhan, we come to find out that Team Rocket's the one that sent them on a rampage somehow. I don't really remember how they did it, but they did. Yeah. And they gather them up, they catch them up, and Meowth. This is the creepy part. I wrote this quote. Meowth says, that parent and child seem nice, and I just thought that was very sus for Meowth to say. Now I know Meowth is a Pokemon, but I didn't quite appreciate its tone when it said that. But I digress. Yeah. So moving on, the Kangaskhan are in a rope net thing, and all of a sudden we're introduced to the Kangaskhan kid. His name is Tommy. For some reason, I always called him Banga. I don't know why.
It might be the Japanese name.
Oh, really?
I don't know, but that
No
sounds
idea.
like it.
I don't know where I got that name from, but if you hear me call him Banga and not Tommy, that's why. It's just because for some reason
Probably
I
because he
associated
says
that name.
banga, banga.
Does he really?
He says something like says kanga, and I think he also at times says kanga banga, kanga
Oh,
banga.
Maybe that's why I
Yeah.
thought. Like even as a kid, I swear his name was Banga.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is also dumb. He gets out of a Kangaskhan
Speaking
pouch.
of dumb Pokemon noises, he's,
Oh yeah, he's the
trying
dumb
to-
Pokemon
yeah.
noise, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he crawls out of the pouch and he pulls out a boomerang in. He takes out Team Rocket. I think. I don't remember if he does or not. I feel like he did. But then the dumb part is he uses the boomerang to cut open the rope. Apparently it's a really sharp boomerang and he saves the Kangaskhan and they go away. And then later, like a little bit later, we get to meet Tommy's parents who retell the story of what happened, and they've been looking for Tommy
His freaking dad, dude.
for a while. I guess they've been looking for. It seems like they had been looking for this kid for years, and like the way the kid integrated into the Kangaskhan lifestyle, I would assume
I
that's
found it. I
correct.
found it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this better be worth it, Sky. There's dead Chansey. Yep.
Yep, that's a dead Chansey.
There's
That's a dead Tangela.
No,
After-
Tangela.
It's after
Tangela.
it, Angela.
Tangela or
Tangela.
Tangela?
Oh, the baby.
Oh,
it
oh,
goes the baby.
God.
The baby stood up
I
too.
know, the baby lives.
The baby was gonna get up and start crying.
The baby's like, Mom, no.
Mom, no.
I thought it was Tangela because like tangle up.
Well, it's Tangela because say the name Angela.
Angela?
Now put a T in front of it.
Tangela?
Tangela.
It just sounds like Tangela.
I've
'cause
always
tangle.
said Tangela.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's like
real.
tangle
I'm
up.
totally pulling your guys'
You,
leg.
you
It's
goofy
Tangela.
goober.
I'm a goofy goober. Okay, so this is where the episode kind of goes off the rails. We learn about their backstory. Apparently, they were on like some safari airplane, and the dad is so dumb. Decides to
Here
take Bang and takes him, holds
Here
Bang
I'm like
out the
Michael
window.
Jackson blanket.
He's
He's holding out the window.
Yeah.
He's like, "Look, Banga, look at all the stuff down there."
And the wife is like, honey, get it back in here.
Don't put our baby out there. And he drops the baby instantly after she says that. He
Yeah.
drops the baby.
Baby's
And,
not
like,
dead.
They look out the
surprisingly.
window and see the baby falling, and they're like, "Banga!" And all of a sudden, like a parachute comes out of the baby somehow, so the Banga lives.
This whole sequence just had me rolling, dude. I was like, what? Okay, first off, the dad gets brain dead award.
Yeah.
Because he's
totally,
holding his kid
no
out the
doubt.
window.
Freaking
But-
Michael Jackson's his baby.
The kid pulls the freaking parachute. It's like, what the
What a genius, Banga!
Vega's smarter than his parents, dude.
So, his dad's a terrible human, and I'm so curious as to how he even managed to pull his wife, because his wife is
can't
like
believe-
leagues better than
Yeah.
than him.
Yeah, and his wife's like they're probably on the brink of a divorce after this, because
So,
she's always calls out his stupid stuff. It's like, how have you not gotten a divorce yet?
don't worry, they're
Yeah.
gonna die later on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So a lot of things happen from here on out. They have a big talk. They're gonna go look for Banga, and then all of a sudden Team Rocket attacks with a big Mecha Kangaskhan, and Banga's losing the fight, not doing too good. And then all of a sudden his
How many
parents show
mech
up.
Pokemon do they have?
Enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Team Rocket funds them, and then Giovanni's like, "Where's all these funds coming from?"
Banga's parents show up in a helicopter and say, "Don't worry, Banga, we'll stop them. We'll save the day." And they proceed to crash the helicopter into the Mecha Kangaskhan, and it explodes as you would
like-
imagine. Luckily, Team Rocket gets away. They blast off again as you'd expect, but Banga's parents literally die. And then they don't because it's Pokemon and they can't have the
Yeah.
parents die just yet.
And they're magically they were like in normal safari clothes, and now they're magically in loincloths.
They're magically in the loincloths just like
Yeah.
Banga. And then, like, sorry, I'm getting excited about the Banga story. It's
Yeah.
funny. But, like, yeah, all of a sudden they hear Banga's parents from under the wreckage in the fire. And they're like, oh, shoot, they're alive. And they save them. And And then as like Ash and the gang is like leaving, they see how the Kangaskhan on the cliff. They're like waving, and then it like shows the baby Kangaskhan, and I'm like, don't you dare tell me Bing and his parents are gonna pop out. Lo and behold, Bing and his parents pop out of the Kangaskhan pouch, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. It feels really creepy to me.
So there was a part that I also was just laughing at hysterically. Was I believe they were talking to Officer Jenny when they were looking for Benga. They're like, where do we go?
Officer Jenny.
Park Ranger Jenny.
Park Ranger Jenny. Come on.
They're talking to Park Ranger Jenny. And they're like, well, how are we going to find him? And Jenny's like, don't worry, we have his address. It's like, what?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like,
his address is right on the reserve. It's like, you didn't, like, why did it take him so long when they could have?
I didn't even know about that.
They knew, the park knew of his existence.
Yeah, literally.
This whole
That's
time.
what I was saying. I was like, there's so much wrong with this. First off, if he's out there in the forest, what address? Like, third tree to the left by the mangoes?
And also, like...
You saw the dead dog, you've gone too far.
Oh.
Not the dead dog, the dead growlithe.
Oh, dead growlithe.
Yeah, the one that was in the last episode?
Yeah.
Wow, that got dark.
Arcanine?
They threw a baby out of a helicopter, okay? It was already dark.
Drop the baby, drop.
So, I guess my biggest question is, like, what is the time span? Like, when they drop the baby to, like, when they go looking for the baby? Like, the park knew they were there. The baby was there the whole time.
You think it would have been immediately? Like, they're in the helicopter. It's not like they had to keep flying. They could have turned around.
It seems immediately, but it also seems like it's been years.
It seems like it's years. But it's like, bro, you're in your helicopter. Like, you can drive. You see your baby fall. He pulls the chute. Awesome. Fly somewhere, land, and go save your baby.
Well, the final thought.
What a silly little endeavor we have here.
The final thought I have for this
Most
episode
yet.
is how I remembered it from when I was a kid. I just remember Ash's voice specifically going, Kanga, Kanga, Kangaskhan, and that's all I remember from it.
At the end?
Yeah. And so it's not as stupid Pokemon noises. That's the goated Pokemon noises. Ash saying Kangaskhan's noise.
I don't know. Is this the most unhinged episode?
I don't know, dude. I think next episode's pretty freaking crazy too, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happens, and let's find out about it right now.
Man,
I think
it'd
that
be fun
episode
to rank crazy Pokemon episodes by how crazy they are.
See, I think this one is better categorized as crazy. The next one's kind of unhinged.
The next one is
getting it with
pretty
the baby
edgy.
drop. I don't know about that.
I'm gonna say this next one's pretty edgy.
Yeah,
it's out there.
So this one's called The Legend of Miniru or Dragon,
or Dratini.
Dratini,
which I looked up. It apparently means dragon and mini. It's like combines those
mini
words.
Dragon?
Yeah, mini dragon.
So we start off with the crew in the Fasari in the Safari Zone.
They actually got there finally.
Yeah, Ash has a Pokeboner just looking at all the Pokemon.
Nidorina also are Pokeboning.
Yeah, they're like cuddling over there. It's like, oh, it's cute.
They were gonna Pokebone.
Let's take a picture. We're playing Pokemon.
They were
Snap
all of a sudden an egg was gonna pop up out of nowhere, and we weren't sure where it was gonna come from.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, the warden pops up with a 6-shooter, and he points it right at the gang. Points at everyone's head.
Bonkers, dude.
It's like, well, he first appears. It's like, this is the Pokemon Safari. It's like, oh great, let's go in. Not so fast.
He's
boys.
like, you guys were bad at singing. I'm gonna shoot you now.
It's like, what the hell's wrong with you?
So he hands him a bunch of safari balls and a fishing rod.
And he points the gun again.
Yeah, and then he points his Thunderbolt, the gun, back at him.
I love how he named it. That's funny.
Yeah, and he's like,
it'd be funny. They could have censored this with, it's like, this is my Thunderbolt. It's an airsoft gun. It's a BB gun. It
could be Thunderbolt and Lightning.
Yeah.
Because he's got two.
Yeah.
They could have, like, censored it where it's like, why are you pointing those BB guns at me? It's like, because it's always just fun to scare people.
They'd have to, like, paint the tips.
Yeah, they could have done that.
That.
By the way, if you don't know, this is the band episode.
Yeah, this is the band episode.
They could have done a lot, but they decided, nah, just scrap this
I
one.
came to the conclusion that it's not just because of the guns, but we'll get to that.
There's gonna be a lot later.
Oh, excuse me. So, he hands him a bunch of balls and a fishing rod, and he's like, okay, this is all you can use. Excuse me. But, I mean, 40 is kind of a lot, so, like, they're good. Anyway, we see a picture.
Wait, isn't it 30? It should be 30.
It's kind of like a bucket of golf balls.
I didn't even write a number. What did I say?
You said 40.
40?
It should be 30.
Yeah, 'cause
that's
how many
canonical
Taros
lore wise.
Is that how many he caught?
Well, that's just how many
Yeah.
Pokeballs you get in the Safari Zone.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, he did catch 30 Tauros as well, so it makes sense.
So while they're in the warden's office, they see a picture. His name's Kaiser, by the way.
What a cool
Yeah.
name, dude.
Picture of
He's
Kaiser
he's
and
the Ryer, the Kaiser. It's the bread. I can't remember the whole lyrics, but it's a Weird Al song.
yeah, the gang's looking at this picture. It's Kaiser and a Dratini, and once again, his immediate response is to point a gun at him.
It's like don't
look
you
at my
dare do
Dratini.
that.
He grabs his gun. He even pulls back the lever this time too.
It's like Clint Eastwood.
And then he
He's
says, "There's no Dratini here." And it's like, bro, they didn't even say anything.
At one point, they called Dratini a legendary Pokemon. So it's really interesting that that's just how they translated it, like the subtitles did it. Because I'm curious how they would have actually translated it.
Yeah,
I imagine they just would have said it's incredibly rare instead or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like Arcanine's like this is legendary Pokemon, one of the games.
Arcanine actually had was actually supposed to be a legendary though.
Yeah, he looks like it.
Well, was
It looks like a prototype of Entei.
Wasn't there like a poster or something?
in
at one
episode
point?
2. There's a poster that shows Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos, and then it also has Arcanine in the poster as well. But that goes back to Arcanine was originally in the game's code as a legendary and was supposed to be a legendary to begin with.
Yeah.
We got the camera, so we got to go a little bit quicker too. But I'll talk more about this near the end when we get to the other Pokemon that shows up too.
So the gang, they ask Professor Oak about this, and he's like, yeah, back in the day, people heard about the Dratini, and then they ransacked the Safari Zone and trashed it. And yes, I did write 30 Pokeballs. I don't know if I said 40. So he's like, yeah, we're limited to 30 balls. So they head to the Safari Zone to go out there, and then Team Rocket stops them. Then the Warden starts shooting at him.
Shoots at Team Rocket.
Yeah, with 2 pistols. He's
Actually
got thunder
shoots.
and lightning.
Actually shoots him.
Then Team Rocket says, hey, yo, Ash, let's have a contest. Let's see who can catch the most Pokemon in the Safari. Ash is like, cool. If Team Rocket wins, the gang has to give up all their Pokemon. And if Ash wins, then Team Rocket won't bother them anymore. So they accept it. Ash and Brock start catching a bunch of Pokemon. It's like Ash is out there trying to catch, what's he trying
He's like a Rhyhorn.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'm going to throw this Pokeball at the Rhyhorn. He throws it, and then a bunch of Tauros run in front of the ball, and he catches another Tauros instead.
Yeah, so Ash is
so
just
funny, dude.
reluctantly, or on
Tauros are
accident,
literally
rather.
committing suicide by
They're
just running.
they're like, get down, Mr. President.
Yeah.
So Ash is just catching a whole bunch of Tauros. Team Rocket, it cuts to them. They're actually holding the Warden hostage at gunpoint. They're
Straight up freaking like torturing style.
Yeah. Jesse's using Arbok to constrain him, and then it goes to this interrogation session.
So right before the interrogation, Jesse tempts him oh, I could be your girlfriend, and then she's dressed up, and then the guy literally says, sorry, I don't like Garus. He's like, I'm not into that. He doesn't say that, but I looked up the word that he said, and that's exactly what it is. And so it's
he was aroused at first, but then she kind of.
But then when she changed her costume, he's like, oh, I'm not
"Ugh."
into Gyaru. Sorry. I don't know how you say that word, by the way. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Also, Meowth at this point, he had a very, very sus outfit.
He had quite the outfit.
Yeah, he had a little mustache that is probably familiar with the famous dictator.
It looks very sus, as the Among Uses would put it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and also during the interrogations, here, eat this cutlet bowl. It's like, yeah, no American kid or even a viewer would understand that reference because in police dramas and I think in real interrogations they would give the people they're interrogating a beef cutlet to make them relax more.
Yeah.
That's a Japanese thing that I know, but yeah, it's a weird reference for if they were trying to localize it.
So the Warden's not cracking, though. He doesn't want to tell him about Dratini at all. Then we cut to Misty, who's fishing with her fishing lure.
Her little Misty lure. And that's another thing. Along with the Tauros, the little Misty lure also comes in later episodes. So it's sad that this one was banned because we didn't get the originating premise of these things.
The Misty lore.
Yeah, it's the little Misty, the little Kasumi
Yeah, I
lure.
remember that one.
Yep. Then Misty catches a Gyarados, but then it snaps her line. The Warden comes walking out with the Ticklebot from the Team Rocket.
Oh, because
interrogation session.
it's unhinged, dude. They're
It's
crazy.
and he's wrapped around. It's help me, please.
I don't even want to know what the Ticklebot was doing to him.
Yeah. And then Pikachu shocks him off. They head to the Valley of Dragons, and
shocks him off.
Yeah.
they find Dratini.
So Keep going. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got the thing later.
You're fine. Team Rocket's already there. Jesse sees one and is freaking out, but Meowth and James weren't. They were down swimming for one. Jesse steps on their breathing tubes. They're freaking out. They come back up. They're like, what the heck?
Jesse almost had one, dude. It was close.
Yeah.
And then Ash and the crew show up. Jesse is like, we're going to catch one, and yeets a freaking dynamite in the water.
There's a bomb in there.
And then Ash is like, no, we got to go. So Ash freaking dives in. Instead of sending in any one of Misty's water
Squirtle
Pokemon
or
his
Star
own.
You.
Yeah, Ash dives in to go get it. The Warden jumps in too, but Ash is like, yo,
Go back up. You're an old
go
guy.
back up. So he goes back up. Ash grabs the bomb and he's swimming to the surface, but he can't breathe, so he passes out. And then he falls all the way to the bottom while cradling this bomb.
What a gamer.
Yeah, he can't do it.
And
so,
then he's having a death. Like, well, at least I tried, guys. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
literally like a death scene.
Yeah.
So I had just watched, fun fact, oh, that's a spoiler for a different show. I can't.
Naruto.
Yeah, I just watched Naruto. There's
And
something
the Fog
happens.
Man.
Very, very reminiscent of the
Wink,
death
wink.
scene. Anyway, Dratini evolves to Dragonair and saves Ash by swimming him out, essentially. It creates like this
Give him
light tornado thing. I don't even know. Just a big beam of light
Yeah,
comes
like
out
a
of
twister
the water.
thing. I don't know.
Ash comes back out and then just so happens to chuck the bomb back at Team Rocket. Right at the very end, it blows up. They go away. And then the Warden sees Dragonair and he hugs it out with a brother he hasn't seen in a while. Or sister. I don't know if it's a boy or girl.
They're gaming.
Yeah. And then they call Professor Oak to talk about all their adventures. And Ash has that
It's like,
iconic
"Hey, I
scene
gotta
of 30 Tauros
Yeah.
taking out Professor Oak.
Yeah. And yeah, like freaking's like, oh, Ash like, hey, I got gifts. Like, what is it? Just like destroys his office and gets trampled to death.
So I've got two things I want to bring up before we close out really quick. The first thing is just going back to the legendary thing. I looked it up. It was only ever called legendary in this specific episode, so it might have just been a translation error thing. In the red, blue, and yellow Pokédex, it calls what's it called? Dragonair mystical.
Yeah.
And then in yellow, for some reason, the Pokédex actually does call Dratini mythical, but that is actually specifically retconned. Like, they went out of their way to retcon the word mythical. In the leaf green Pokemon Dex, that says it used to be considered mythical. So mythical is a very specific thing for Pokemon. It's only things like Mew and Celebi, Jirachi, and so on. And so they always try to keep that word specifically for those. So the fact they went out of their way to specifically retcon their wording of it in yellow is very key. I wanted to point out.
And also want to bring up about Dratini, the Dratini line, which falls from Dragonair to Dragonite.
Yeah.
It kind of is weird how this snake-looking creature evolves into a full dragon. And I was thinking maybe at one point it was supposed to evolve into Lapras because it looks more similar.
That's not what I've heard. The big theory with that one is Dragonair into Gyarados and then Magikarp into Dragonite. Personally, I think that's got less merit than the Venomoth thing, but maybe.
I'm thinking Lapras makes more sense. They're both aquatic.
I could see
Well,
it.
yeah.
It's just the shell is kind of
In my head, it made
Yeah.
sense because in Asian culture, dragons are like long, skinny worms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But he also hangs around the water, so it's but he's a normal type. Then again, typing was really weird.
Wait, who's normal?
Dragonair, Dratini, and
No,
Dragon.
they're all dragon type.
Oh, dragon type. Yeah, well, they were normal type back then until they
No,
introduced.
they were not.
They were.
They were always dragon type.
I don't know anything about this.
Was dragon type in Gen 1?
Yes.
Oh,
I
it
didn't
was
know
just,
There's only
that.
3 dragons in that.
so it was
gen.
just was it fairy and steel weren't in Gen 1
and dark type.
and dark? Okay.
Dark
I didn't
and
know
Steel
dragon. I
were
thought
in Gen
dragon
2.
type was some weird type they introduced later. I guess not.
Nope, dragon was since Gen 1.
In the trading card, I remember he was normal type in the trading card.
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Colorless.
yeah, colorless, whatever.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's why.
So
That's the distinction. So it's not a normal type. It's a
but
colorless.
I'm wondering in the trivia, can you teach Dragonite or any? Can you teach them surf?
Oh yeah, totally. Dragonite
Okay,
can surf.
so that makes sense.
Yep.
By their aquatic nature, you should obviously teach them surf, and you could probably teach them fly, but that would clutter it so
Dratini
bad.
and Dragonair are commonly found in the water in
Yeah.
the games that you can catch them in as
Yeah.
well. In fact, in Black and White, you can fish for Dragonite. Like, I've caught a Dragonite by fishing before in that game. It's cool. So, really quick, the last final thing I wanted to bring up is just how much stuff in this episode they would have had to have censored, because I realized it wasn't just the guns. Like, obviously, they have the guns. They have the times that he shoots at Team Rocket as well. they have the straight up like threatening torture scene with Team Rocket and the guy, and like that is kind of sus. They'd have to threaten or they'd have to change. Let alone the Meowth.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot to that they would have had to have done. So, and then to top it all off, they have the freaking illegal fishing techniques that Jesse throws the bomb in there. So, it's literally not just the guns. It's literally everything. And so much of it, if they would have had to, like, cut, they wouldn't have been able to have, like, a cohesive storyline, I don't think. So, this one's band actually makes sense why they didn't just bother editing it. But it's still unfortunate with all the stuff that was relevant to later on in the series, like the Tauros and the Misty lore, for example.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Tauros when I was a kid, and I was like, where the freak did Ash get 30 Tauros?
And it's such a significant thing that he gets 30 of them. You're just
and
like,
it's funny. It's funny, like, they could have tied back when they saw that Dragonite back then, that huge Dragonite. They could have tied it back. It's like apparently this evolves into a giant creature. It's like, you think it's the same one we saw at the lighthouse?
It could have, yeah. They should have done something like that. It'd been cool.
But I guess Dragonite. Is there a Dragonite episode later, or did he just?
Oh, the Dragonite's in the anime plenty of times later on. So we'll definitely see Dragonite.
I like Dragonite. He's a big goofy guy.
Dragonite's got a lot of roles in the
Dragonite. In fact, in a Pokemon children book I saw back in a library, Dragonite is like Santa's reindeer.
Dude, Dragonite's adorable. It's such a cutie too.
And also, apparently, is he pretty overpowered in the game?
He's strong.
Yeah.
I used to use him in competitive teams like Generation 6, XY.
Yeah, he's
Extreme
dragon.
speed.
Dragon types are broken generally.
Gen 6 is when they got nerfed because that's when fairy types were introduced, but it was still a powerhouse. And our camera just died, so sorry about this, everybody. You're going to get the ending audio only. It's just to let you guys know that we won't be here doing Pokemon for the next couple of weeks. We're going to be moving, so we'll come back with Pokemon probably sometime in June. So this will be the last episode of Pokemon. The normal episodes of Life is Daijoubu should be able to be scheduled in normally. We're going to do some pre-recordings of some episodes so that we can have them out every other week like normal. So that shouldn't be having a break, just the Pokemon episodes. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you have a fantastic month, I guess, and look forward to the normal episodes where next time we'll be talking about Kids on the Slope. And after that, I guess I can minor spoiler. We're going to be talking about our manga 3x3s, and then we're also going to be going over the movie Suzume. So look forward to those episodes, and we'll see you guys later. Have a great life.